With Battle for Azeroth winding down and patch 8.3 coming at us in a week's time, I've been thinking a lot about what's in store for us come Shadowlands. We look at, the changes that we're going to see as players, the lessons learned both from players and the developers, and what we as players as a community are going to be griping about in a year or two's time. Now, to Blizzard's credit, they've been very vocal. Nothing's been finalized, and they're still working out the details. So they are asking that we, the community, the players, tell them what we want. So here it is. Here's what I, as a heroic mythic raider, wants from Shadowlands. Raid leader, guild leader, all that good stuff. First, I think it's important to point out that Blizzard is clearly not in touch with what the player wants and has lost track of what makes their game fun. This is obvious with examples like telling their customer base that we as players didn't want classic WoW.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Well, we did. This was obvious when there was no testing in the retail beta of BFA for Azerite items. That it came, a week or two before the expansion came out. And we as a community, most folks, not everyone, said that it just wasn't working. The system isn't what we like. We're not digging it. We're not feeling it. We don't like this system. And we were told, it's here to stay. Suck it up. Blizzard, what I want most of all, if you ignore everything else in this video essay, what I want most of all is for you to take a step back. Take the advice that I give to raiders all the time, whether it be in videos here or in my raids, in my guilds. Take some time off. Process what's going on. Do some self-reflection and realize that what you have and what you're going to lose. Your players, myself included, love this game, but we are not going to stick around forever. There are equally competitive games out there in the MMO genre, and there are plenty of other games that can occupy even the most stalwart of fans. If you continue down this path of self-righteous foolishness, ignoring your customers because you think your ideas, your gameplay decisions, and your product is superior to anything else on the market, I have news for you. It's not anymore. One thing is very clear from Classic is that you do not need system upon system in order to have fun and to create character progression. I had a friend of mine come back to retail version of WoW after not playing the whole expansion, focusing his time instead on Classic. And I had to make a list of tasks he had to accomplish in order to play current content. Had he come back in a week's time, he would have had to do all this before being able to delve into patch 8.3. He had to get gear. He had to do world quests to level his Heart of Azeroth. Grind. He had to research what essences were best for his class, his spec, and of course I helped him out there. And then go out and get those essences. Only after he had done the Essence introduction quests, then the Nazjatar introduction quests. Oh, and he needs to grind all the rep for Nazjatar and Mechagon. At this point, he was able to then work towards being competitive with current players. Now, yes, I understand that that's the name of the game. That if you're playing the game, if you're an active player, you're going to be up to speed. If you take a step back, if you take a break, if you don't come back for an expansion, you're going to be behind the times. But there are so many systems that he needs to learn and get used to be current with a new patch coming out in 1 week's time that is going to only exacerbate the issue. It took several minutes of me sitting down in Discord with him and explaining every single thing he had to do. These are just systems to get you up and running. I know I've made mention of the mindset is going away in Shadowlands, and it really needs to. This is a mess. Okay. Now, some of us, myself included, have, and I've shown it on this channel, play a ton of alts. This play style is only to Blizzard's benefit, and should be embraced in Shadowlands. Again, the removal of layered system upon system to catch up or be competitive, being removed should absolutely help out.
I have this experience where I'm looking at my character select screen all the time, and I want to play a new character that I haven't played before, and I just can't bring myself to start another Essence grind. I've done it too many times, and I can't do it again.
Okay, but Blizzard, you guys honestly need to decide. Is this a game where me as a player, I pick one class to play, and I play that one singular class for 2 years at a time, and either spend hours grinding every day to keep up, or, alternatively, and the better of the two options, can I pick a couple of favorites, tinker around with them, have some fun? Let's be honest, so far in Battle for Azeroth, we've gone down the road of picking a singular main and grinding your ass off. And if you want to do one of those alts, you have to grind your ass off doubly as hard. It should not be this difficult to play a game and have fun. This is not fun. The Azerite system itself has done nothing to change gameplay. It adds numbers. It adds the dreaded random number generator. Yes, World of Warcraft is an RPG. It is a role-playing game, first and foremost. Randomness is part of a role-playing game. But it should not be everywhere. What changed gameplay for World of Warcraft was something like the artifact system, the talent system, okay? Things where I gain extra charges of an ability. I gain an extra ability that is unique to my class, unique to my spec. More for me to keep up with, more for me to do that fit in line with my character. Now, these days, I do a plus 10 on a couple of different characters every single week. I get a random item for my chest. Hopefully it's something good. If it's an Azerite piece, I don't know what the Azerite traits are going to be. They could be random procs, or they could be my best in slot. I have no way of knowing. I have no way of controlling it. And all it is additional numbers that I'm not paying attention to. Let's be honest. The vast majority of the traits in the Azerite system we're not paying attention to. We care about very few individual traits. Everything else, nobody cares about. And lastly, stop treating your player base like unruly children that misbehave. So you, as the Blizzard parents, have to decree a set of rules to make your children, your players behave. And then to force them into the right choice. Master Looter being removed because raid guild leaders were rampant ninjas. I'm going to press X to doubt on that one. Removing the reforging system because players just went to third-party websites to figure out what was needed. What do you think's going on now with the Azerite system, with the Essence system, with everything else in the game? What's changed? Spoon feed your PvP players gear in a specific order because what's the reasoning behind that? When PvPers have asked for years for the PvP vendors to be returned because they want to pick and choose what items they are working towards. That is character progression. Is picking an item that you want and working your ass off to get it. That way you accomplish something, that serotonin hits you, and you go, I have done this. That's what's fun. Blizzard, help us. Stop hindering us. Make the game that we want to play, not the game that you think we want. Listen to us. Stop using playtime as an indication of performance of your game. Designing your game so that I have to play more and then using playtime as a metrics for my happiness as a player isn't the solution. It just makes you an asshole. Make Shadowlands amazing. Please. I'm begging you. Make it amazing. Legion was great, okay? It had a rough start. Let's not lie about that. It had a rough start. But it was an amazing expansion. Okay? BFA, not so much. I've been at this game for a long time. Okay, I started in Classic, in Vanilla WoW. my love for this game has certainly waxed and waned over the years. I'm going to be honest with you. Some years I'm in love with it, Legion. Some years, not so much, BFA. Make me, as a player, fall in love with this game again. That's what I want with Shadowlands. Thank you, guys.